This is One-on-One. Newark at a Crossroads at NJIT is thrilled to introduce Ebony Simpson, Executive Director of an interesting organization called City Without Walls. Good to see you, Ebony.
Thank you. It's good to see you, too.
City Without Walls. What is it?
City Without Walls is an urban gallery. We're in our 39th year in the city. So
You weren't there when it started.
No, I was just appointed in January, so I am new at the helm.
Yeah, you have a fascinating background. You went to one of the great public high schools in this city, Arts High.
Yes.
Give 20 seconds on Arts High, because I could never get in as a kid growing up in this city, because you had to have talent.
Yes, you have to have talent, you have to have passion. You also have to come from an elementary school that is pushing you in that art. If you are a student, that you are a musician, a visual artist, a dancer, it does help that you come from a public school that is into that as well. You also have to have great parents to help and support you. Arts High is a place that teaches you to respect all art. So they just don't build you up on if you're a singer, it's all about singing. No, they make you respect all genres of art.
And you're a Newark native?
Newark native, born and raised.
Love this city?
Love the city.
Because?
Because Newark is the only place you can see a Broadway show, get something great to eat, you know, and be around wonderful people at the same time.
You could be anywhere, though. You know, you could be in New York, you could be in Philly, you could be in
Yeah.
Chicago.
I can.
Why do you choose to stay here with City Without Walls?
Because I'm from here. I feel as though for me to be a Newark native, it's best for me to give back to where I'm from. I'd rather give back here first, plant my roots here first and see what my work is doing, versus going to New York and doing the same thing and I have to travel across the water to come home. It's not the same feeling.
Describe the work, City Without Walls. We'll show some pictures and make it come alive. I'm thinking, oh, it's a gallery, but then it's more than that.
It's more than that. We are a gallery for emerging artists, so we're not interested in artists that has shows all over the place. We are really interested in that artist that needs to figure out what they want to do, get into their first show. We also have a curatorial program where we do an open call for curated proposals, and we sit with a judge panel, and we pick the shows that are going to be on our calendar for the whole year. On top of that, we have awesome arts education programming. We have Art Reach that's in its 22nd year, where we pair up art students with working artist mentors for a semester. At the end of their semester, they have a show that is shown at City Without Walls with their mentor. Their family and friends come over, and we just kind of show them what it is to be a working artist, to get away from that starving artist understanding. We just launched a new program, Yarn City Project.
The Yarn City Project.
Yes.
Does it involve yarn?
It involves a lot of yarn and a lot of love and a lot of patience.
Describe it.
Well, Yarn City Project is essentially yarn bombing, which is...
Yarn bombing?
Yarn bombing, which is a trend that Newark, we're behind it because the trend has been all over the world, Brazil, Europe, you know, where they are literally yarn bombing bridges and iconic statues.
Why?
Because it's beautiful and it's eco-friendly. It doesn't harm it. So when you walk into a park and you see a bunch of beautiful yarn trees, it does make you stop and look at it. It does make you say, well, who did this? And how much time did it take them to do it?
You got me thinking. You got in a city. I mean, we grew up in the same city, obviously at different times. And I think to myself, we're struggling with crime, unemployment,
Yes.
a public school system that is constantly challenged. We're going to have the school superintendent, Cami Anderson, with us and others talking about the public education system. And you're talking about art. You're talking about the place for art in this city with so many serious challenges. What is that place?
Well, the place is City Without Walls,
But why does a place like City Without Walls and the art and everything connected to it matter with a city that has so many other seemingly,
big
devil's
issues?
advocate, pressing problems?
Because art transcends those pressing problems.
Give me an example.
If you, okay, we all know what's going on in Newark. We see the headlines, we're understanding the crime, but that's every big city. It just so happens that being that our city is the biggest in this state, we get a lot of the news coverage of it. But you walk into these neighborhoods and you see a beautiful mural on the wall. It does make people stop. It does bring the community together. You have to build community appreciation. You have to make people respect where they're from first.
That could have an impact on crime?
On crime?
How so?
Well, for instance, my first year Yarn City Project, we yarn bombed Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park sits right in the Lincoln Park Arts District on Broad Street. I heard a lot of people say, don't yarn bomb it. People are going to take it down. They're going to deface it. No, I said, no, we're going to do it anyway. And I had the community rally around us because they're now stopping anybody from defacing the project.
Pride.
This is beautiful. Why would you harm it? Why would you take it down? They're making people feel ashamed of their actions because this makes your neighborhood look better. It makes people want to come and stop and see what's going on. So art definitely stops a lot of things. It may not stop it instantly, but to start having the community respect and love where they're from is the first step. If you have people that are embarrassed, if everywhere they turn is nothing but gray walls, the lots are full with debris, no one is taking the effort to revitalize where they're from, it's a mental stimuli. If you see something beautiful, you tend to act differently. When you see something ugly, you tend to act ugly as well.
Did you know this as a kid? I mean, now, it's funny, as a kid you were studying media and communication and film, you were telling me, and now you're into arts and metal. What is the art form that it's called?
Assemblage.
Assemblage.
Yes.
Did you know that art would be your life and then using art to really transform a community? Did you know that would be your life growing up in the city of Newark?
No. I really just leaned towards what I was comfortable in, what allowed me to be me. So it was more so, you could be a teacher, When I went to college, everyone was in the education program. You're going to be a teacher or a social worker. No, none of those career paths really
But
made
you
me
are a
feel
teacher.
great. But
you are a social worker. And how about getting kids into art through art education? What's that like?
It's amazing. It's amazing. But I didn't know this was my path, though. I just kind of let my path fall in front of me. Everything that has happened to me in my life and the career path that I have gone on was not planned. It was just blessings and amazing opportunities set in front of me that I took full advantage of.
Final question. What could art do for these young, or introduction to art, arts education, what could it potentially do for young people, children, in the city of Newark in terms of their future? Do we have any idea?
I think it could definitely open up new career opportunities for students in Newark and children in Newark. I think that it most certainly gives them a way to express themselves that is positive, that can be nurtured by community, family, and friends, and gives them an outlet. Art in itself, as Andy Warhol said, art is anything you can get away with. So you let these kids know that young and give them the platform to do what they consider their art form is, be it breakdancing, street art, be it mural art, be it painting, and you support them in that, they could be anything.
Ebony Simpson, Executive Director of a great organization called City Without Walls. You're making a big difference, and we're proud that you're a Newark native and staying in the city and continuing to help young people and others. Thank you, Ebony.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back from NJIT's Jim Wise Theater right after this. Thank you, Ebony.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato at NJIT has been provided by New Jersey Institute of Technology, Prudential Financial's Global Communications Department, Audible.com, Barnabas Health, TD Bank, Josh S. Weston, and by the law firm of Gibbons, P.C. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. This program has been made possible in part by the Fidelco Group.